Welcome everyone to our mindfulness meditation of Monday, April 20th of 2020. We are about to start, so from this moment I invite you to find a comfortable, restful place at home for today's meditation. And as you do that, just make sure that you're not going to be too distracted. It's very possible there might be other people in the house, so make sure that those distractions don't become too overwhelming for today's meditation. Find a comfortable posture, perhaps in a chair, on a meditation cushion, yoga mat, if you have one, if you can, and just relax, but at the same time adopt a dignified posture. Always for your meditation you want a posture that will be a balance between comfort but also a sense of wakefulness and readiness. And you can certainly create a biofeedback mind and body. What you do with the mind is reflected in the body. What you do with the body reflected in the mind. Before I start, I'm going to check to make sure that our live streams on Facebook and YouTube are working today. I invite you to also click like and also to share this video so that we can invite more people into this virtual meditating circle that we do live every Monday. Now, today's meditation requires a bit more instruction and introduction than usual. And because it's late, we're starting a little bit later than usual. I invite you to just dive in your meditation. So as you first hear the singing bowl tonight, just allow your breath to become the center, the axis of your consciousness. Gently bringing your attention towards the physical sensation of your breath and nothing else. Gently and gradually. It's not going to happen all at once. Gently continue bringing your attention towards your breath, becoming acquainted with your breath, with these physical sensations. As you relax your shoulders, as you let go of any tension that you little by little become aware of on your face, your neck, shoulders, your hands perhaps. Pay attention to tension that you might be holding in your mouth, your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, and your feet even, your legs, your belly. So letting go of all that tension as you continue to sit upright as much as possible. So don't overdo your posture. dignified, yet comfortable. The goal is to facilitate your breathing, to facilitate relaxation, while at the same time you continue to be as wakeful, as ready, as prepared for anything that may arise. Breathing in and out, if you can, through the nostrils. Gradually allowing the inhalations to become deeper, gradually allowing the exhalations to become longer, yet at all times the breath remains very natural, very soothing, very healing. As we continue to transition these times of isolation, uncertainty, and in which we respond to the voices telling us to take care of our physical health, let us also remind ourselves of the importance of taking care of our mental and our spiritual health as well. We've been practicing ways of keeping our mind and spirit healthy the last couple of weeks. So the equivalent of washing our hands so that our holistic being continues to be healthy. You may find these meditations on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on our website. Today we will start considering what the Buddhist tradition calls the 5 hindrances. The inspiration for this comes from the story of doubting Thomas that we considered yesterday. Now, what does this scene in the Gospel of John have to do with the 5 hindrances of Buddhism and our holistic health? The scene, I will argue, is about doubt, not trivial doubt, as in not being sure if your food is salty enough, what the temperature might be outside, but deeper, fundamental, existential doubt. Doubt about meaning, doubt about one's convictions, doubt about lack of trust, metaphysical uncertainty. What really matters? What to believe in? What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I feeling the right thing? Why am I here? Am I here at all? Continue to shift your attention towards your breath. Continue to become acquainted with the bodily sensations. Continue to awaken to every aspect of the moment to moment. Many of us are finding ourselves more than usual in this mental state of doubt. And it's easy to see that not doing anything about it can have negative consequences to our general well-being. The Buddhist sages told us that sensory craving, aversion, sloth, worry, and doubt are the 5 hindrances, or mental states that present and represent obstacles in our path towards the awakening of the mind, spiritual growth, enlightenment, communion with the divine, whatever that means to you. Breathing in deeply, breathing out slowly, relaxing the shoulders, letting go of everything else. One breath at a time. Doesn't matter what happened up until this moment in your meditation. Doesn't matter what may happen next. Fully dwell in the moment to moment, in the time between breath and breath. Whether you believe the divine to be God, many gods, or an abstract universal principle. The 5 hindrances prevent us from participating in the divine and all its qualities: timelessness and eternity, unconditional love and compassion, omniscience and ultimate wisdom, ultimate peace and absolute happiness. Doubt is the final obstacle, a very complex mental state. And because of that, it requires that before we address doubt, we consider the other obstacles. So we will be turning our attention today to the first one, sometimes identified too narrowly in some traditions as sexual desire. But here, today, we will consider it in a broader sense: sensory desire. That is, craving that which we do not have in order to please the receptor of our 5 senses, craving pleasant sights, pleasant sounds, smells, tastes, and physical feelings. Considering all these cravings today, from a tasty meal to a mansion on a tropical island or a great vacation in a place like that, to a beautiful sexual partner, or also all the means that we crave, all these things we believe will help us towards acquiring these things: a better job, more money, an advanced degree, social status, a better body, a younger body. Continue breathing in deeply, continue breathing out slowly, becoming aware of those places in your body where you might be holding tension, noticing that tension as you inhale, and calming, relaxing as you breathe out. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with wanting things. It's part of our condition as humans. Wanting things keeps us alive, drives and motivates us to improve our condition. Those who don't have enough to feed their family, of course, will desire food. Those who are ill, of course, will desire health. These days, those who arrive at a crowded hospital with symptoms of the coronavirus, of course, desire a bed, a medical attention, perhaps a ventilator. But the mind doesn't stop there. In fact, science tells us that when the mind is not occupied with a particular task, for example, when we sit with the intention of doing mindfulness meditation, like in this moment, it is in our human nature to offer commentary of reality, to evaluate our experience of the present moment, to think of better possibilities. Just notice those things now. Notice how in this very moment, as you try to let go and meditate, there's this commentator in the mind, constantly assessing what comes through the senses, making simulations about how things could be better, even trying to just go back, revisit things that happened in the past, simulating alternative scenarios. This, of course, has negative effects on our mental and even physical health, because it may lead, if unchecked, towards conditions like chronic anxiety, depression, among others. But both science and the ancient mystic traditions from East and West tell us that there is a way to overcome this obstacle. As always, the first thing to do is to become aware of the obstacle. The obstacle is the path. The obstacle itself is showing you the way towards overcoming this tendency. So let's find the obstacle right here and right now. What's arising in consciousness right now? Just pay attention to all those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and even the physical sensations, even where your attention gets diverted from time to time as you try to meditate today. What is replacing your breath as the center of your awareness at each given moment? Whatever that may be, savor it. Don't push it away, and notice how perhaps your first reaction to that is to try to change it, to wish things were different. So acknowledge what you're thinking about right now, and acknowledge how that makes you feel. What is it that you're craving in this very moment? What are those sensory cravings you're having right now? Is it a particular sense, all of them, some of them, that you're trying to please with this desire that arises in the mind? Notice one craving and name it. Put a label on it. Say to yourself out loud or in silence, I am craving whatever you're craving. What are you craving right here and right now? There is nothing wrong with craving. Why am I craving this? Why? What is the source of this craving? You may say to yourself, I am craving this because, if there's a reason. If there's no apparent reason, say to yourself, I don't know why I'm craving this. No matter how trivial the craving might seem, don't be harsh towards yourself. If anything, this exercise requires patience for yourself, compassion for yourself. So if you start questioning yourself, even about the craving that you think you're experiencing, then to return to the awareness of your breath and start all over again without making judgment of yourself. It's very normal. It happens to all of us. So if anything, that brings us closer together as human beings. Consider what would happen if you satisfy this craving. How would you feel? How would others around you feel? And if you don't, what if you never acquire this thing? What would happen? How would you feel? If possible, verbalize, whether in silence or out loud, the answers to these questions. This would happen. I would feel like this. What would happen if you acquire, if you satisfy the craving? How would that make you feel? What if you're incapable of satisfying this craving? What would happen? How would you feel? Now let go of the craving that we've been considering and shift your attention once again towards your breath. And as you do that, allow yourself to acknowledge the wonder of each breath. Most of us are lucky enough to do it effortlessly. One breath after another, that we take it for granted. Savor each breath as if it were the first and the last one. Now acknowledge all the bodily processes that are made possible every time you nurture your body with all this oxygen that comes into your body with each breath, all this energy that enters the body one breath at a time. Try to imagine this microscopic world. Acknowledge the elements you're inhaling as they combine inside each cell of your body with the elements that came from the food you ate today, if you were blessed with a meal today. Acknowledge how ancient these elements are, forged perhaps billions of years ago in stars, millions of light years apart from each other. Yet today, they are finding each other inside your body, inside each cell of your body. Consider the vastness of the distance that these elements may have traveled and the vastness of time elapsed so that this wonder can take place within yourself, one breath at a time. Now find a word or phrase to express your wonder, awe, your appreciation or gratitude for this. In the same way you were verbalizing your craving, say to yourself in silence or out loud, this word or phrase that arises in your mind, to express this feeling, this positive feeling. Now, even if you don't feel it, say it nevertheless, because it will really activate these neural pathways that we're working on today, these mental muscles, which in most of us are a bit atrophied by inactivity. Just like our physical bodies, our physical muscles might be suffering from the lack of exercise these days, so too our mental muscles. Now let's continue in silence for a few minutes to close this meditation, one at a time, turning the attention to a sensory desire or a sensory craving that arises, considering it like we did, savoring it, labeling it, saying to yourself what it is, what would happen and how you would feel. If it's satisfied, what would happen, how you would feel if it's not satisfied. And then gently turning the attention towards expressing gratitude for the miracle of your life in this very moment. Simply remain still, remain quiet, remain at rest, using your breath to ground you in the present moment. And allow those sensory cravings to simply arise. Now let go. Just be quiet, still, and at rest. Free the mind. Thank you all for coming together as this virtual meditating circle tonight. Now, I wish you're able to have a quiet rest of this day. Please stay healthy, not just the body, but also mind and spirit, all as one. Thank you and see you next Monday. I'm only now seeing all those who have joined us tonight, those who have commented. So welcome everyone. Karen Randall, Barbara Brickett-Clavey, Sherry Jagger, Becky Savage, Valerie Walker, Janine Jad McCulley, Amy Lynn Calloway, Aloysio de Oliveira Genuino. Aloysio, our apostle here in Canada, is Arthur Smith, Art Smith, we call him. Karina Pacor also, hey Karina, hola. Jared Poblet, Natalia Romo, hola. So thank you all for being here today. John Botia Miranda also, Puna, Teniao, bonjour. Michael Karpovitz, John Hamer, Jason Down, hey Jason. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.